of the amount of wastewater they produce and the amount of wastewater we use, that if we need the excess capacity because we can't take it, we have to store it, we have to have that tank.
Well, it's twofold. It's confirming, reviewing ownership of the existing tank, because there's only one back there, and if they ever shut it down,
There's two back there, a 6 million and a 2 million.
they're not interconnected, to my knowledge right now. Like, if we had to do a bypass and they had to take one out of service to do repairs on it.
Understanding they were connected, and they float on each other. Almost positive of
I could
that.
be wrong, but my point is, with this, we got to do a little bit more homework on this one. This is Bill probably coming.
Well, this would be one that would be a bond issue anyway,
Yes,
SRF.
it'd be SRF.
Yeah.
There he is.
Clarification.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Come correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am.
Bill Shaw, Gateway CDD Utility Director. The 2 million and the 6 million are tied together. The issue is the wells only go to the 2 million.
That's what
Okay,
it is.
now that would make sense, because that was the initial tank.
Yes, and if we had to take the 2 million out of service for something, we could pull out of the 6 million, but we have no way to get our wells into it to supplement the,
We don't have
Extra.
we don't have a bypass pipe.
yeah.
That's close.
So that brings the question of, you do the 2 million gallon tank, I would think that we would have to put in bypass piping. At that time, we'd put an interconnect to all three tanks. To any one of them can go out of service and you don't lose the well capacity.
Yeah, we only have there's only 2 tanks. I don't know what the third, they have.
That's what we're talking about, another 2
Oh, if we
million.
were to make another
If
tank,
we,
yes.
yeah, if we put in another 2 million gallon tank, somewhere out there, we got to be able to have flow from the wells to any one
Yes,
or all
we would-
three tanks.
We would valve so we could divert
Yes.
to the wells.
Yeah.
And we briefly had a discussion with Lee County a year and a half ago
Yep.
about, what that would look like if we weren't to get another tank, and how would we divert into the 6 million gallon tank as well, so.
Somebody needs to be crunching some numbers to determine where are we at on water produced, wastewater produced that turns into irrigation water versus our demand. Do we even have a storage problem? The answer to me would probably be yes. In the
Yes, we do.
summertime, when it's raining, you don't use the water.
We always use more than we get from the plant.
So we supplement it,
We always supplement.
even in the rain period.
In the rainy period, we get closer to a 50-50, but most of the times we're 60-40, 65-35. Wells.
Oh, well to
Wells greater
wastewater?
than the wastewater.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we need to really be on top of those numbers.
Yes, we have them every month.
Because that agreement we've got's got a clause in it that we don't allow one drop of water. We have to use every drop of water.
Yes. Oh, we
That's why we're always putting it on the street.
That's why we put it on the streets. Yeah.
by far use every drop of water,
Handsome.
so.
Okay.
So, Bill, you guys have looked through all of these. In the chart that's up there now, you guys have looked through all of these, and you are comfortable with asking for the particular ones in the fiscal year 2027 column?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything of those amounts, if we had to kick something back, that you would rather see kicked back to 2028 as opposed to 27?
You mean deferred?
Deferred, thank you.
The crane truck is the only thing. Because that's a shared cost. That would be a shared cost between utilities and public works. So
Where do you see that?
um,
Oh, down at
Halfway
550?
down.
Crane
Yeah.
truck? Okay.
Crane truck,
there's-
90,000.
Yep. So there's 90K in utilities and 90K in public works. We have the old one, which we put a little bit of money into it and we're milking it. Yeah, would we like to trade it, to get a new one? Yeah, but we can.
It's serving its purpose
Yeah.
at this moment, and,
Okay.
and I mean, really all it costs us is the insurance and operate.
And yeah, the annual inspection, fuel, it's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
So when we say capital on
So
these,
is there anything in the 27 column that if things get tight and we have to
could
defer some stuff, what would you suggest?
We could push the Tundra.
Come back to a mic. Zoom in for
That's the
him.
2019 Toyota.
Yeah,
One of them.
That's the 55,000?
yeah, one of them.
Okay,
I mean, we really can't push lift station rehabs. We need to be doing 2 of those a year. So they're on a 15-year cycle.
We don't want to mess with that.
And then,
and Chelsea said that the crane truck, maybe.
the crane truck, you could definitely push. Insertion valves,
That is contingent upon,
that's contingent on getting some grant funding,
so we have to have our
Hopefully,
25%
so-
match.
you know.
Okay.
And the majority of the utility items are, because we have a handful of grant applications in, I was going to tell you guys at 3 o'clock, but we did just get notice of award of a $200,000 grant for generators. We only have to put up 65,000. So we got to make sure on the ones that we applied for that we have our match somewhere. So a lot of these are that, and regardless, if we don't spend it, it'll just roll back into the pot.
So when we say capital, does that mean that we're doing a one-time payment for that out of cash that comes in through revenue and assessments?
Yes, unless it's a, yes,
I believe
yes.
that's how.
Well, because otherwise it would be a bond.
SRF loan,
Yeah.
SRF
Yeah.
loan.
Okay, so all of these things that say capital and the dollars associated with them, we're going to generate via our rates.
Yes.
Okay. And there's no reason to debt finance those? Like say for a truck for 5 years, get a 5-year payment deal?
You're going to spend 7% or 6%
Interest.
interest on a bond. And the rates that we get on trucks are the state rates, which are already extremely discounted.
I know we looked at that, doing like the, making payments on them versus, I mean, if we do go through the purchase process, instead of buying it outright, if we do it like over 5 years, they only, it's really dumb, but they only allow you to make one payment a year, so the interest is crazy. It ends up costing us more.
Okay, so if we go down to the bottom, scroll it up just a little bit. We go to the bottom, meter replacement, 6,812,500. That's not a cash deal.
No, it says
That's an
SRF.
amortized cost.
That's SRF.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what we're going to borrow, but we're only paying a fraction of that for a 40-year loan.
Correct, but
Okay.
that's the amount that's going to hit the budget line next year. So, but we'll get reimbursed from SRF and then pay that back through P&I.
And will that project be completely done by next budget year? The
Well,
end of
by
next budget?
End of calendar year.
End of next year,
end of next fiscal year.
Yes,
2027. Because we still have all the
So
meters to install.
September,
of 2027.
October of '27.
Probably sooner,
done.
probably sooner. We have to have our kickoff meeting with the meter company. But most likely sooner, but worst case scenario, we got to put the money in the budget because we are going to have expenses next year.
There was an email today that noted the calendar year, but
We're aiming by the end of the calendar year, but worst case scenario with punch list and technology, end of next fiscal.
Anybody have any other questions on this table here?
This is utilities.
Let's go.
And once we get the meters in, what if there is a household that has been paying, I don't know, $100 a month for the last N number of years for their water, basically? And now with the new meter, we see $200 a month. Is there any way we can ramp those people up or not have sticker shock or something?
It'd be based on their usage. So the rates, I mean, the rates are per the fee schedule, but
Well, I'm saying,
The
what
inference
if
is
the
the
old
usage is
meter
bogus.
wasn't working right?
so we have policies in place if they wanted to, the contractor's required to keep the new meters. We're going to keep them for I think 90 days is what we put in the contract. That way, in the event anything happens, we've got at least one bill cycle's worth of any hiccups. So if we have to do a
Okay.
bench test, we can do a bench test. And then we have policies that say, this is a formula how you do this.
Okay, good. We have something in place.
Yes, ma'am.
All the
You
meters
mean they
that,
keep the old meters for 90 days?
Yes.
Okay, you said new meters.
Sorry, the old
Okay, no
meters.
problem, no.
what kind of percentage, because I'm seeing, obviously, they're putting in the meters, the boxes right now in Gateway Greens, including the irrigation boxes. I've got 53 of them. I noticed a drastic reduction in water usage in the last 2-month pay period. Drastic.
It's probably because you were.
Was this a
went
guess
to
reading?
The 1 day a week watering schedule.
I told them to compensate by that by turning up the runtime. But that, I haven't got an answer back as to what the issue is, but these are some major zones. I was wondering if it was because these aren't meter readings, they were guesstimates.
We'd have to look at, you'd have to
And if
call
they're
Vicky and
guesstimates, am I going to
Leslie.
get a sticker shock next month when it comes in double the price?
You'll have to call Vicky and Leslie and they can pull those accounts and we can look at those
Because I've been
individually.
getting accounts that had negative numbers. I had this time out of 53, 15 of them were negative. Like $82 negative, $70 negative.
Well, no, on that one, you got your deposit back on all of your accounts.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
I didn't tell anybody over there they'd want to spend it on something else. Okay. Okay, thanks.
That's what it was.
Okay, next screen then.
All right.
You want to stick around, Bill? Public Works.
If I'm needed.
No, you're good.
All right, I'll be, if I needed, just call
Nothing
me right
until
back.
we
Thanks,
get to
Bill.
here, so I'll just scroll there.
Uh,
That's the first item that had
Okay,
dollars
so
in it.
when you have in the bond column, where you say new bond, it's not actually a new bond for new money, it's rearrangement of items in the existing bond that we're working on, the 2023 bond, right?
No, ma'am. No. It would be an entirely new bond.
Not a request to spend what's left in the bond.
Correct.
It's a new bond.
New supplemental trust indenture.
And that would be why? Because it wasn't allocated in the old one?
Because so when we validated the 55 million on the first borrowing of the supplemental trust indenture, we said we were going to borrow $13 million. And in that engineer's report, we said, we're going to do $13 million and we're going to do these specific projects. We have pretty much finished those projects. So on here, if you see it say bond means the old bond, the 2023 bond. If it says new bond, that would be new borrowings, new money from that bond validation.
But from the 2023 bond valid, no.
No.
New borrowings. So
Would we have to get a new validation?
no,
No.
Okay.
As long as we haven't hit that cap,
correct,
all the debt that was validated, then we have whatever room is left.
correct. So
For the
we
purposes
borrowed
outlined.
13 million of 55, new bond, you would have to borrow new money of the 55 million.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get to
Yes.
earlier.
Okay.
It's a part of the 55,
Yes.
but it has not yet been approved to be
You haven't borrowed it.
borrowed.
It's a new
Okay,
bond issue, new series of bonds.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And for Doug Banks is online.
So that could be hi Doug, that could be a continuation of the spending of the money that was on that bond, not requiring any other validations or anything.
Correct.
Within
Well,
the
you
par-
would,
Within the parameters of the projects.
yes.
Yes.
You can move within categories, but you have the various listed projects and the categories of
The
infrastructure.
only exception would be if we had a project that was not described in the original, then that would not be eligible for the new without getting approved.
Looking at the majority of the projects that we have under here, under new bond, these would all fall under that master trust.
The description of the.
They're all,
project.
in other words, they're all eligible.
Based on my review, that would be, we'd have to have
Yeah,
bond
bond counsel
counsel.
double check that.
Bond counsel to double check, but yes, they are of like sidewalks and shared use paths. We
And
have
Pond banks are pond banks.
We have sidewalks and shared use paths.
Yep. So that sheet that I put together that showed the master trust indenture with the 55 million and then what we took out for the 2023 series and then whatever was left, that whatever is left is what we would, that would be available for the new bond.
So we're looking at, just add these real quick, like 3 $3.5, $4 million of new bond borrowing.
We have a total at the bottom. Yep.
Probably not on this page, but
And we even identified it per category.
it's on the summary page.
Any questions from anybody on this
How
one?
do you differentiate if we get to the new bond? Who's paying for it, 01, 02, or whatever? Or do we try to differentiate
I
that?
think there's another column here that shows what the funding methodology is.
So if you took out a new series of bond under the master trust indenture, that's based off of the old bond series. Now, Tony, you're going to have to chime in.
Whatever the methodology was utilized for that bond issue in the master trust, and that's what would be utilized.
So it goes back to the old validation
It's
or the old
methodology.
methodology?
If the old methodology was the one that was utilized in the initial validation, yes.
That's going to get interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fun for
Any-
changing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, looking at it, we got $300,000 that'll hit Pelican out of what, 8 million or something, 6 million? How
So-
much is the Pelican residents could be on the hook for?
So that Tony, is a good point that we'd have to pull the string on a little bit is Pelican did not pay any Parks and Rec under the old methodology.
You have to go back, again, once again, you have a methodology, you went through a public hearing process, you allocated debt based upon that methodology, and you have to go back to the assessment methodology change, and then probably back to the bond.
But there's no parks on this here, what I'm looking at in front of me.
No, that's coming next.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, so for this piece of the pie, what I'm trying to get at is what is going to be the proportion of the total used that is ascribed to Pelican? And is that the only portion they'll be responsible for?
We hadn't got that far yet. We
Okay.
just started with identifying the projects, and if you nix the projects, or if you say, these are the viable ones we want to proceed with, we'll do that
Yeah.
as the next
Yeah.
step.
And depending on how that comes out, I mean, well, never mind. Tree line skywalk is not a Pelican item anymore under the new methodology. That's why, but under the old, it was.
Correct.
If you want to use a different methodology than the one that was part of that validation process and the validation of the 55 million, you'd have to, at a minimum, go through the public hearing process, opportunities for objection. And the question is whether or not that could be done without having to go back to a validation process. But you'd probably at least need to consent to the bondholders. I mean, that's something we can talk with Pedro about.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
We wanted to start with just identifying projects, and then, because I don't want to waste anybody's time if you guys nix the whole concept.
Okay, and are you fairly comfortable with 300,000?
Yes, those numbers did come from Tetra Tech. And that,
And it has some wiggle room in it too, so.
let me preface, it's an order of magnitude number, so it's a little high, but that number did come from them.
Yeah, that's 1,300 feet, $300,000. What is that? That's $250 a foot for a frickin' sidewalk?
8-foot
What?
wide sidewalk.
It says it in-
It's a
Multimodal.
multi-use, so it's a little
Multimodal.
wider.
Well, I understand, it's 8 feet.
But still,
It's a lot of money still.
Absolutely.
But it is sorely needed, so.
Okay, anything else on this one? If not, let's go to the next one. Here's your Parks and Rec.
Okay, so Tony,
Yes, ma'am.
on Parks and Rec, under the bond capital SRF or grant column, where it says new bond, what is Pelican's part of that cost? So I'll just take playground equipment in Sherman, new bond, 300,000.
Well, zero
is
if it's
it-
the old request, if it's the old methodology.
Is it the old methodology where
I don't know.
Pelican
Yeah.
paid nothing? Or is it the new one where we pay
15%.
0.15?
I don't know, you're contemplating using the last set of validated bonds? Remember, we had the revised methodology?
So this to pull the string, and again, I didn't want to get the cart before the horse on the projects, but this was going to be a question I was going to try to set up a call with you and Pedro is, I'm going to run through a hypothetical real quick with you guys.
I would
So-
think Russ Wire needs to be involved in this
Well,
too.
so the funding mechanism, so if the project is approved under the current methodology and the board says, these are viable projects and Parks and Rec is $3 million and Pelican's proportionate shares,
Some number, right?
whatever the number is
0.15.
of that, so
Right.
60,000, let's just say $60,000. Can this board say, okay, for 001 expenses, their proportionate share of that, we're going to use the 2023 bond series. Pelican,
That methodology for the,
say, and their borrowings of that, their portion of that project, so the whatever number is, say, okay, they're going to borrow under the 2023 bond series, and then that's going to be split with that methodology, whatever it is. Pelican, you're 60,000. Do you want to take a short-term bank loan, or do you want to assess it or pull from reserves? Does that make sense?
And not participate in the bond.
And not participate in the bond, because you can't participate in the bond because you're not paying as
you
part of
can't
the
be
old method.
required to help, right?
Yes.
Because if it was under the old methodology.
Yes. So we look at it as a funding mechanism instead.
We had the one bond issue, we had two series of bonds,
Yes.
the Gateway bonds and the Pelican Reserve bonds.
Pelican maximized theirs.
Okay, and that, I'm trying to think, the methodology for that was.
It was only certain categories.
No, but I think the methodology that was the old methodology,
Yes.
right? Okay. But when we did that, we validated, again, that methodology that applied a certain benefit to Pelican Reserve for certain infrastructure.
Well, that's $6 million there in Commons Park, field lights and lights at Pool. A lot of that's way up in the air right now, depending on a lot of stuff to happen.
Absolutely.
A lot of stuff that has to happen.
Well, for this discussion, we're going to act like we're going to do it all.
At least it's itemized.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I think what we need to do is have a call with Chelsea, me, bond counsel, and Russ to really outline what funding sources are contemplated, what the funding sources are indicated to be utilized for, and what bond series, if any, when we're doing new bond series or new borrowing, and how we do that.
Okay.
So no matter what, if you wanted to proceed, we can always take out a 5-year bank loan and fund whatever projects you want to fund, if you don't want to do cash on hand. If you want to amortize this over 20 years, then we've got to go back to that old bond series and use that methodology.
Unless you do new bond
Unless
validation.
we, yes, unless we do a whole new validation under new methodology, so on and so forth.
But
So-
still, if you're going to do the short-term borrowing, you would still need to do a capital assessment methodology as opposed to the O&M assessment methodology for that, and go through that hearing process.
So that would be utilized through our current methodology process.
It could be.
Yeah.
But you might have some items in here that were not considered in that $55 million too. If you have things that are not considered in there, we can't use that deal, as I understand it anyway, without getting a
That's right.
permission.
The only way you can is if you get bond counsel to say, it's a type of infrastructure comparable to this category, and you're not running far afield.
So in other words, it's got some latitude.
Interpretive.
There's a little bit of that, not a whole bunch.
Okay.
So it's subject to interpretation,
Well, yeah, depending upon the
subject to
scope of the work.
clarification.
Yeah,
Generally, again, I'm from a staff perspective, the MTI was very broad stroked, and we captured the majority of these Parks and Rec specifically. These things were captured as part of the MTI from my staff interpretation. But again, that is subject to bond counsel.
Any other questions on this
Okay,
one?
so for our next meeting, will we have a definitive answer to that, Tony?
again, it all depends if we can get together, the four of us, between now and then. Chelsea, and have that call?
I guess, is that answer to that going to stipulate if you do proceed with these projects or not?
No. That'll just be information. But like Ed said, whether we're going to go 6 million on the commons amenities. or
Yeah,
not
but
is-
there's bigger issues than,
I'm not willing to
Yeah.
say no, like Bob is. I don't know.
We will get a meeting with bond counsel and have an answer for you before the next meeting. Now, also, PrAC has not given their 2 cents on,
Okay.
on the capital stuff, which you, if you recall at the joint meeting, you
We asked them
guys,
to do
you
that.
said 200K, let them figure.
Right.
And that may incorporate one of these, or it may be a net new, I don't know. They meet next week.
Well, we're looking at creating or calculating an assessment for next year. And this year we were, what, 1,200 and change, somewhere around there that we approved. We start looking at these numbers, that number is going to go up and we're going to get hung if we don't watch out. We're going to get hung. The people are not going to willing to pay these costs for park and recreation. I can tell you that right now.
Well, and that's why we wanted to give you an itemized of
But we
these
need to know what
things.
they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Or if there's any added that you're
Yeah,
thinking
new
of,
items come up.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not on here that you don't see.
Because a lot of the cost of the big ticket items on there were ones that we're looking for to fall under that 50, 75% capture of getting money back from either advertising or naming rights or whatever.
Right, a lot of variables.
Yeah, okay. Admin, can we make them all like this?
I'm not very needy, I guess. I don't know.
I just want to call out the fence along the frontage of Gateway Boulevard. I put that as administrative because it's really protecting the site. If you, I mean, that could go either way. You could push that to the parks category if you wanted to. That is a true estimate that I got. If you wanted to have fancy columns in between, the number is going to jump to $200,000. But if you want just a standard black fence, like it's literally the Pelican Preserve Emergency Access Gate fence. If you want that fence along the frontage of Gateway Boulevard, it's $55,000.
You mean just
I
a
think we'd like
standard
that.
6-foot-high black aluminum fence?
Yep.
I think we like that something a little prettier than that.
So then the number's going to go to 200K if you want columns like the.
But looking at it long
You mean like
range,
masonry columns?
if
So-
you're looking at it as
Those
long
are
range,
Nothing but a pain in the butt.
we
to
want this to
maintain.
be emblematic of the way we view the community,
So again,
not a black chain link.
if you want to put it in admin or it can go in parks,
Right,
you could split the cost 50-50. It's up, I mean, I threw it in admin because I thought that was where it was better suited, but
But this is just along Gateway Boulevard?
Yes.
Not going back
Correct.
along Hampton Park
correct,
entrance?
because there's a large landscaping buffer along Hampton we're going to
So
try to
it would go
maintain.
down to the entrance into the park or on past that down toward the lake?
It would
Going
go,
south?
it would tie in to what will be the vehicle access of the commons. So it'll go, pretty much go to the lake.
It would just be to the south side of the road?
It'll pretty much tie into the lake, yeah, yeah.
the lake all the way up, right? Not just
No.
that little,
Just right there at the beginning. It's not going to go the entire length of the lake parcel. I can have that, but it's just going to add additional cost.
I don't see any reason to do that.
There's a fence
I
there
don't know, I
now
have to
that
see what I
stops.
think it looks like.
I'd tee it into the fence that goes back to the east.
If it's only going to be a little stretch, then I don't really care what it is. I thought it was going to be the entire expanse mirroring, the whole boulevard.
It is up to the entrance and then it would.
That's not that much distance.
It is
3,400 feet.
Is it really? I didn't think it was
beyond,
anywhere near that
beyond
much.
along the pond bank to tie
Easily
into
3
Eagle Point.
Eagle Point's easy, 300, 400 feet.
Yeah.
Easy.
I can get a quote. I
All
mean,
right,
we
all
know what the linear foot price is,
All
so
right.
we can do the math. But if you want, my question to you is, would you like the columns or not? Because then I'll go back and I'll actually work on numbers of columns. My budget.
If it's a significant expanse, then I think we ought to have the columns. If it's just,
When you say columns, what kind of spacing are you talking about? Every 100 feet?
Yeah, that's what we were talking.
So if it's
And they would
100
tie
feet, there's
into the
1,500
monument
feet,
then,
so it'd be
yeah.
15 columns. I can't picture it being a big cost.
I guess I'm
10,
still,
I think it was like, swag number was 10K per, 10 to 15 per column. Because they're going to be they'd be 6-foot columns.
So you go from 55 to 200,000.
That's what it came to.
So it quadruples the cost, basically.
So
as a-
can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, so what I would recommend is, I think we have three options. We have the chain link is, entry level. 2 would be maybe a wrought iron fence, and then 3 would be columns with, wrought iron or decorative in between, just so we can have a frame of reference on,
Doug,
what the cost is from A
Doug,
to
I
B.
didn't even contemplate chain link. I just went straight to black aluminum,
Yeah.
which is like the access road. And then black aluminum with columns is, so you're either at 55,000 or you're at 200,000.
Chain link will look like Alligator Alley.
I
Yeah, well, I didn't
didn't
mean
even,
chain link. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I meant whatever you consider the base, you know,
Black
acceptable
aluminum.
entry. So
Black
you're saying
aluminum.
there's not a middle ground on that. It's either this or that, correct?
I could find a middle ground if you guys had another community concept. I took Heritage Palms over off of 6 Mile as the example, but if you guys come up, have
I
something
think the
different.
issue is columns or not columns. That would be the
Yeah.
deal.
Well, because I mean, I think to Bob's point, this area will be a central point for Gateway as a whole.
Keep in mind, do we have a sidewalk going to be in front of that road
Yep.
on that side?
Yep.
Okay,
So the fence would be on the back of walk.
back of the walk, okay. I was going to say, if the sidewalk's going to remain to the other side and there's no
Yeah.
lateral deal, then all you're going to get to see it is road traffic going by at 60 mile an hour.
Yeah,
Can
but
we
they're gonna
have
slow
the
down to read
same,
our bulletin
Slow
board.
down to look at the
To
sign.
look at the bulletin board.
Look at the sign, yeah.
can
or
we
the-
have
or
the
the
same
new
material
monument.
on the columns that we
bikinis.
have on the sign?
That was the plan, yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it would all tie in.
Could we have the same material on the columns that is on the signs?
So
that
you
we
guys,
approved
You
a
mean like
couple,
the stone?
yeah.
whatever that
it's-
was that we approved.
It was like a flagstone.
Right,
Yeah.
which is
So-
also supposed to be at the bottom of the building. The administrative building,
Okay.
that lower,
But again,
Supposed to
that
be
would be
that.
just for the columns.
right.
You could do that.
And that
That will add the
is,
cost, though.
no, that was the intent, and that was the number I
Oh,
got,
yes,
the 200K.
Anything else on this one?
So yes, then I would just plug the 200,000 in.
Can update that.
Next.
Yep, we got one more yet.
One more. Pelican, which we haven't heard from them yet, on everybody yet. But generally, we know,
But they don't have anything that they're not going to cover through their O2 at this point in time.
to my knowledge, yet, correct.
That is correct.
So Ponds is contemplating Pond 21. Safety and Security meets next week, I think, or in a couple weeks, to talk about what of their roads that they want to do, big ticket items. And then,
What's the 250 for entrance monuments? What are the
It-
entrance monuments?
That's for
the,
the design of the entryway where they were talking about the refresh
If we sell
of the
the parcels.
monuments.
Oh,
if you want to take it full
okay, so
gamut.
that's just designing it. That's not the
Right.
actual
That would be the-
monuments,
Design and permitting, construction, not up to,
new construction.
If
yes.
the colonial stuff sales, then we got a bucket of money to do
So we
everything
plugged
else.
it in the event that you get through this,
Yeah, good.
they get through this conceptual, and that way you have a pot of money to start.
It should be. And I know the road cost came in first blush using the state's provider was
Counties.
three times what we were expecting.
So we're gonna
We're going back and-
competitively bid it.
Wasn't anywhere near what we have been paying.
If we sell the monuments.
What?
Tree line to the four-way stop.
Oh,
That little stretch came in
Yeah.
at almost 900,000 or 900,000 plus.
whoa.
And everyone was thinking more in terms of maybe 400,000. So we're
We're bidding it.
TBD.
Have we had any bites on buying those two parcels?
Yeah, PPAC, they get monthly updates. They've had a couple inquiries. They're gonna get an update next week.
No offers,
No offers yet, though.
but interest.
But if we do, what are you talking about entrance monuments? Is that,
To their community.
oh, not,
Once you turn
not
off a
those
tree
two,
line.
to other.
Right.
Correct.
At the
locations.
present time, we only have a monument on the northern portion, southern portion.
Other portion.
And we might
pull in.
want
Okay, I
to
got
consider
you.
putting
You're
something.
talking about at the real entrance
Right,
into.
because tree line, when it was built, didn't go that far. People could only see our entrance one way.
So we call it front entrance or colonial entrance. That's how we refer to them.
Okay, gotcha.
But the intent with Pelican is if they sell those, then they have the money to do the things.
And the 250 is to at least have a design, an idea out there for what it would look like.
And this is,
If
this
we
is,
then get the money from the
yeah,
other
this is
parcels.
pretty much updated because I met with Jim Latham yesterday. I don't know, all my days blur together. And then Safety and Security had their meeting a couple weeks ago. So these numbers are pretty current. This is from the last time that I talked to any of the chairs or the subcommittees. So they're, Mark didn't have anything, but this is pretty up to date.
So the 250 would be plural. There would be 2 signs, 2
No,
monuments.
well, we're wide open, who knows? They might even want to redo the existing one at the entrance. We're going to leave that to a designer to tell us that's what they want to see. What are the options?
Was that sign installed initially?
Yes,
So it's what, 25 years old?
yes. And it's got 2 fountains, and it's got, some ponds and.
Anything else?
And I think these here, this is what we were talking about. Let me blow this up a little more. So this
This
is where it said
scatters the
we,
money by the accounts.
correct. So for utilities, for capital, we're looking at, 617. It was 7 million for SRF, which is meter project. And then we broke out here for public works between roads and waterway. And then by funding project, what we're asking for funding or thinking about how to fund capital bond, new bonds, and then there's capital bond, new bond, and then we have a grant / capital, because we'll have a portion that we'll have to cover for this. So this is just summarizes all of the stuff that you saw on the last pages. They broke it out by department, and then by silo inside of Public Works.
Thank you. This is useful.
And I have it all the way out through 2036, but it's pretty much not populated after 2031. So we just look at usually 5 years at a time.
Staff focuses on 5 years, but we do project out up to 10, but we focus on just what we can. Is there any projects that you can think of that we missed or that you've been contemplating that we can work on some numbers?
The only thing I saw that in reviewing, picking up the landscaping plan, that landscaping plan doesn't look like to me it addresses anything other than the entrance at Stony Brook, the Griffin Drive.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And nothing for the rest of Gateway Boulevard.
Correct.
And we're putting in all that new zone irrigation up and down Gateway Boulevard. And what's it going to be watering?
The existing.
Just what's there.
Yep.
Might be a big pill to swallow. It's what, 5 million, 5.5
Big bucket to
million?
drink,
5.5.
Do what?
5.5.
5.5 million.
big bucket to drink,
I'm sorry?
big bucket to drink instead of a pill. It is irrigation.
What about drinking water, but I'm afraid that's going to be vinegar. There'll be a lot of people not going to be
Nobody's
happy about
drinking that
that.
water.
People aren't going to be happy about that. Okay. Anything else?
Do you have any cost expenditures that people are going to be happy about? I'd like to hear that.
It benefits them,
Okay.
just like everything else in this country. Gimme, 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 gimme. Everybody wants a piece of the action.
So Ed, that brings up a good point, because at the last meeting, you guys said, the board said, if we proceed with this project to do the full gamut of the irrigation, which was the total of $5.5 million, and we have a shortfall. So an alternative funding source will be needed to complete that project unless you revert back and we only do a portion of said project. So again, that could either be through short-term bank borrowing or the bond series or a new bond if you want to change the methodology.
No grant money available for irrigation?
We applied for one and were rejected. So, I mean, we're always looking for new grant opportunities, but it's hard pressed when you're just doing like a retrofit of an existing system compared to like net new. But
You're going to be able to show a lot of savings to do it, to be able to get any points to be considered. If they come out and watch how much water we throw on the roads, they might consider it a need.
so one of the things, since we have a couple minutes, if nobody has anything, I'll just kind of dive into one or two of the topics here. One of the things, and I know Doug went out and looked at the lighting levels with a lighting vendor and took the photometric, the reads on what the soccer complex is and what it really should be per design standards. It was no surprise we fall well below the standards for multi-purpose fields. I did get a rough estimate from Musco, who is the name of the game, has the county's contract, they, so on and so forth. They have two options. The first option is a retrofit of the existing system. So basically the pole would stay the same. I mean, they might have to straighten. If you look out there, we got a couple leaning tower of Pisas, but they would straighten 3 of the poles, and then the horizontal fixture membranes, those would all be net new. And those, if we chose to do a retrofit, they only offer a 10-year warranty. If we chose to do everything new, they would offer a 25-year warranty. Obviously, that would be a lot more money.
Go new, will the height be the same as it is now? I thought that was an issue, that the height was a problem,
No.
that they needed to be higher.
No. To my understanding, no, it is not.
If they go
Yeah,
all
so
new.
the conversation I had, yeah, and I asked that same thing because I always felt like those lights were low. And the representative said the height is fine. What they do is they just adjust the cast. I don't know if that's even the right word to use, but that it would not be an issue. Now, if we were to go net new, they might raise them. I don't remember him saying exactly, but the current height of the poles would not be an issue, and it would not impact quality one way or the other.
So the retrofitting number is in here. It is well, the initial blush was around 800, but since then they've come down some. And again, that would be utilizing either a piggybackable contract or like Sourcewell or one of those state
And
projects.
it's what, in Parks and Rec?
Yes, it's field lights with control link, and that's that 775 number. So
What's
that is retrofitting.
Control Link is a
The
vendor?
the app, how you would control the lights.
Oh, okay.
It's a smart, like a smart node.
And basically, I think when I was talking to the guy, he said that it would be, he didn't see any problem with the retrofitting, as
Correct.
opposed to putting in new poles and go end to end. But my big thing was I didn't realize exactly how bad the condition was. I think I brought it up that I thought there was some concerns, but when you looked at those numbers should be closer to the 35. I don't know if we have the.
We don't.
You know, so to put things in perspective.
Is this for all 5 fields?
Is all 5 fields, yeah. So you should be casting light, I'm just going to use this number at 35. On average, we were in between, I think 4 and 8. I think 12 or 14 might have been the highest that we registered, and that was standing directly in front of one of the lights. So we are not only significantly low, we are to a point to where it is so low.
Playing in the dark.
Yeah, it's really bad. So when I looked at it, of all the things that we've talked about at the fields, to me, lighting now becomes the priority.
When you were talking numbers, were you talking lumens? Is that what they're talking about? The lumens?
Well, the number was, I think he called it like 35 feet. I don't know if that's, I can't remember exactly, but it was 35 feet, but that's not the cast of the light. I think it's I don't know, it's range or something. I don't remember, but 35 was the number. 35 is optimal for recreational.
And we're 4 to 8?
Yeah, we were registered 4 to 8.
That's horrible.
Yeah, professional, like if you go to JetBlue, yeah, if you go to JetBlue or you go to a college game or professional game, they're casting at a number of 50, but 35 to 40 is the number that is acceptable for recreational or you know, even high school level.
If you drive by either high school campus here, so the public high school or the charter high school at night, those are Musco lights. And so you'll be able to see the standard of those. And then if you drive by ours, see ours. So you'll be
They're banks of stadium type lighting. Right?
Those are comparable to ours. It's football, like a high school football game. So
and the other thing too, I'll just add, because
racks and bulbs.
I
pretty
think,
much.
and there's one thing I'll add just because I'm sure we'll get questioned on it. By increasing the quality and the brightness does not negatively impact the area around it. So if that
I
makes
think
sense. So it
that's
doesn't,
all directional now.
yeah, it's
That's
all
not that big of a
directional.
deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything else?
What are we going, targeting for lighting on the pickleball courts in the?
We,
The new
we are
section.
meeting that standard, that IES, International Electrical Standard or
Which would be
something.
closer to 35 or 40?
Yeah, no, we're gonna meet that. We were required to meet that as part of our development order.
My vote is headlamps.
So we did a photometric analysis and we will
Headlamps.
meet the 30
She
to
wants
40.
portable
So
headlights,
it's much better than we got out here.
On your hat?
headbands,
Yeah, the headbands with the lights, yeah.
yeah.
Trying to
That might
save
have a
money.
light pollution problem for the people that are going to be.
No, to the point,
make the
with
lawyers
the new
rich.
stuff, it is so directional.
Directional.
And we had to, as part of the photometrics, we had to show zero light level at the property line. So,
Okay.
Yeah, most counties have those code requirements that you don't have anything that
It's
crosses.
not going to be a zero as far as sound for the pickleball, but we'll be there for light.
Hearing that right now already. Okay, anything else?
well, one, just to expand, so if we're talking lighting, right? And Doug, I think you guys briefly talked about it when you were out there, is if you're gonna do lighting, putting those lighting, adding 2 more fixtures over the playground area, you might as well do it all at the same time. So it's like, okay, if you're gonna do lighting, you're gonna do it all. Don't leave the playground,
Without it.
without. And
Sure.
so that incorporates that number as well.
Okay.
K5, do they get water and sewer from
C5?
C5?
Okay.
C5, do they get water and sewer from
City.
Fort Myers or from us,
City.
city? Okay. Do
Everything
they,
on the west side of the road,
do
city.
they know that they are now, that the Parks and Rec facilities of Gateway are now available to them?
When we build them, we'll tell them. They know. We have had some dog park users come in, I believe. I don't know if we've had any pool passes that
I
were
don't know if we have
issued.
either.
Well, I asked because I was overhearing a conversation where the lady was complaining about they were promised a swimming pool
Oh.
by the developer and no swimming pool ever came to them. In fact, it's just basically a park area now that they threw some grass in and, they walk their dogs there and things like that. But
We can try to reach out.
They got a big
So-
pond.
yes, they do.
Got a big pond.
They do have a big pond up
Some
there.
with the gators.
Yes. But anyway, is there any way that we could reach out to them and say,
Did you know?
did you know?
Yeah, we can do that.
Or maybe
Ask Randy.
in your newsletter, say, if you have any friends that are in C5, could
Yeah,
you
let 'em
let
know.
them know?
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
they ought to be part of our distribution on the newsletter, right?
Send them all,
As long as they sign up for it,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, they got, oh, well, we need
send
to
them all
tell
a
them.
pool fob.
Got to tell them or they won't know.
Right, because they get their water and sewer from Fort Myers, so they probably don't know.
Correct.
And usually you would send it to where the bill goes.
Okay,
Well, except that they do have a line on their annual bill of Gateway.
yep.
So somebody might want to know why
No,
they.
because it's all rentals. They don't see a property tax bill.
Ah,
It's
good
all
point,
rentals.
Good point.
We can tell our friends at Lennar. to
So
share
they
the word.
don't,
They see it indirectly every 30 days.
Yeah.
well, yes. I mean, it's all built into their, their rental payments and all that sort of stuff, but they don't see a property tax bill. I bet you most of them have no
No
clue.
idea.
No clue, probably.
All right. We'll do
I
our
asked
best.
Randy.
We'll do our best to notify them.
Okay, so we're going to adjourn for 7 minutes till 3 o'clock meeting.
All righty.
Okey-doke.
Are
Thank
we
you.
going to have more members here for that?
Nope.
I'm here, Bob.
I'm ready. I got it.
You
I got it. Yeah.
I didn't steal it.
It was down there. All right. I'm ready.
We're ready.
Whenever you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 3 o'clock. I call this April 2nd, Thursday meeting of the Gateway Services District Board of Supervisors to order. Let the record show that all board members are present. 3 board members are present, 2 are on Zoom.
Doug
So,
is not online at this moment. Only Flavia is.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Back to the roll call. Let the roll call show that, again, 3 people are here and 2 are on Zoom. Approval of final agenda. Any corrections or additions to the
We want to
agenda?
have a
I
motion
move-
to allow Flavia Walsh to appear.
What?
Would you have a motion to approve Flavia Walsh to appear remotely, finding exceptional circumstances?
So moved.
I forgot that.
It's because it's not
That's a
very
second.
exceptional.
That's a second. You second it? All
Yeah,
in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you.
But that-
That little piece of paper wasn't in front of me. I got to follow the rules. Approval of the final agenda. Any
moved.
additions or corrections?
I'm okay.
Motion?
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Local achievements. We continue with our procedure of recognizing local students that are, I guess, identified by staff at the school. And why does that phone always ring while I'm doing it? It's going in my hearing aids and it's driving me crazy. So we continue with that process. We have, I believe, 3 students here today.
4.
Oh, we have 4 now? The 4th one's here?
Okay, perfect.
What did she say?
Okay. 3, okay.
Yeah.
I think we have.
Devin's not here.
So we'll just do these one at a time. I'll share with you. I'll read the first one and you can read the second one and Bob can read the third one. This time we'll do Julie D'Souza, 5th grade student at Gateway Charter. What's lower mean?
Lower, like the lower campus,
Oh, is it elementary? Oh, okay. I say I never heard it called lower before. On behalf of the Gateway Services Community Development District Board of Supervisors, we proudly recognize Julie for her outstanding leadership and dedication. Julie is a self-motivated leader who consistently demonstrates purpose and passion, setting a powerful example for her peers. She is always willing to help others and actively contributes thoughtful and creative ideas to strengthen the community. During a recent house day, Julie went above and beyond, using her creativity and problem-solving skills to ensure everything ran smoothly. Her leadership reflects both a strong mind and a good heart, balancing responsibility, collaboration, service, and grit. Julie inspires others to strive for excellence while making a meaningful impact through her leadership and creativity. So we want to take and congratulations to Julie. We want to take and do all the pictures at this one after the
So
other.
we'll read the next one and
we'll
then
read the next one.
we'll cycle through with pictures with fam.
Okay. I'll have Carol read for Davin.
Davin Guerra, 10th grade in Gateway Charter Upper. On behalf of the Gateway Services Community Development District Board of Supervisors, we proudly recognize Davin in recognition of his outstanding initiative and dedication in creating and participating in student clubs, including debate and voice acting. Ooh, cool. And for his generous commitment to helping his fellow Cambridge students succeed and pass their Cambridge tests. Through his thoughtful tutoring, creation of lesson plans, and willingness to share valuable tips and strategies, Davin has demonstrated exceptional leadership, composition, and academic excellence. His passion for learning and helping others succeed has made a meaningful impact on his peers and the broader school community. Davin's ability to lead, support, and inspire those around him truly set him apart. He is a true example of strong minds and good hearts. Congratulations, Davin.
Bob, would you give us the pleasure?
Okay, I have the pleasure of reading for Elijah Dantley. He's a 12th grader at the Gateway Charter Upper. On behalf of the Gateway Services Community Development District Board of Supervisors, we proudly recognize Elijah for his outstanding character, leadership, and commitment to the community. Elijah consistently exemplifies strong minds and good hearts. He's an active presence among the lower campus students, serving as a positive male role model and mentor. Each month, he visits the elementary campus to teach virtues lessons and to guide the younger boys who look up to him and are inspired by his positive changes that they are making through his mentorship. Elijah also maintains an impressive 3.7 unweighted GPA, successfully balancing his academic achievements with the active involvement in sports and the Student Government Association. His excellence on and off the court was further recognized through his selection as a CSUSA All-Star basketball player, representing Gateway Charter with pride. Congratulations, Elijah. Don't you have a fourth?
No.
Okay.
That's the first one, that's Julie's.
Julie. All right, let's stand up and take pictures. You
I got
know that? Come on up, my dear. Davin, you're up.
Thank you so much. And you know, you're great at reading. And I love your reading too. And I love your reading too. Isn't that crazy? And now we know why you like it.
Former politicians on the
Turn it around, son.
Yeah, turn it around. I was gonna take it back. Oh, you want to do this?
Yeah.
There you go.
Elijah.
Now you know why he's in basketball.
Congratulations.
Like I'm in the picture.
Keep up the good work, dude.
Yes. Thank you all for coming. Good job.
Very proud of you.
This is the fanciest piece of paper I ever got.
I know. Just wait till you go to college and you'll get a more expensive one.
Really love it. Thank you. I'll share with everyone some things.
There's the other one.
This is so awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
It really is.
All right.
That's just in kids, you know, helping out academically. That's why
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
You guys.
Nice to meet you guys.
Very nice to see you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Then I like to be like a child and find my house out here.
Amber,
Yeah.
did you want to do Devin's? Is he on your?
He's Gateway High. Yeah, yeah.
I can't keep you all straight. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
I
it.
have two more, we have two more recognitions.
Okay,
Both are for staff.
go ahead.
That's why I had none. That's why I had none.
Yeah. I
Hey,
have-
you guys want to join me in? They already did.
They did, Flavia.
Oh, okay.
I hope they were off.
Okay. The next one, this one will be
Yeah,
brief. So we did get written compliments to Angelo, and I'll just kind of read you the highlighted snippet, but it was directed to Angelo, and it says that you and your department get 5 gold stars for customer service from her. We had some landscaping debris along a perimeter fence that along Gateway Boulevard, which we were researching to see whose responsibility, but in the interim, Angelo took it upon himself to go and just address it while we tried to resolve and figure out who's who and who's responsible. So the cleanup, for kudos to Angelo and the team for
Where was this
making
at?
that happen. By Waterford.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, all right.
I would like to, actually, Chelsea, I would like to add that, since Angela has transitioned to this new role, I had the opportunity to work with a few things one-on-one with him, just kind of like little reminders. And I will tell you the last 4 or 5 times that I reached out to Angelo and I said, hey, can you take a look at this? Before I even finish, he said, I'm working on it and this is the path. We just haven't made a decision. So I will just wrap that on to say that he's extremely proactive on the things that he see that there are needs, and it's really showing out there.
Good. Yes. Fantastic. Thank you, Angelo. All right. And last but not least, man, retirement day. Dun, 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 dun. So Rick Raniger, I don't want to butcher the last name. Is that okay? Great. Rick has been employee of Gateway Services for 5 years, 4 months, 2 days, 3 minutes, 7 seconds, something like that. Over 5 years. And when Rick started, he started as Parks and Rec kind of maintenance position, and then we had some internal changes, and with his background and expertise and technical, electrical, elevators, that kind of stuff. When Bill stepped up as the utilities manager director, Rick said, hey, I want to take over kind of lift stations and take on Bill's old role in that kind of capacity. And so Rick has finished, I guess, his time at the district in that utilities technician role and is now moving on towards retirement, which we all are, well, I'm envious of at least, but today is his last day with the district, and we wish him the best and enjoy all the concerts that I know you have planned, Rick. So if we can take a picture and give him his retirement, but thank you for your service, Rick.
Yes, thank you. You got the plaque and stuff?
We'll give that to him separate.
Okay.
We have this little card.
Okay.
You look too young to retire. This is retirement number 2.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Take a picture up front.
Yeah, you gotta go through those. Retired. I wonder what
So that's where that decoration piece went. We had a lunch now.
Yeah. Really looks bad.
Was it moldy or just?
No, just green. It's green.
Like forest green?
Yeah, forest green.
Oh my goodness. That's wild.
Dark asparagus or spinach green.
That's the one I got.
Kelly green, Spanish green.
Oh, you
It
respect
could have
me.
been a spinach cake.
Oh,
That's all I have for employee, all the recognitions.
Going for a record, are there any public comments?
I have one.
Oh, God, I thought we were going to make 3 in a row.
I know. We have Teresa Nelson. She's lives on Bellcrest, and this is regarding the FPL transmission line project.
Want to come forward here?
And then you get 3 minutes to speak. There's this thing here will light up. I won't start the timer until you state your name for the record.
Okay. Teresa Nelson. So, hi, and good afternoon. I just stated my name, and my husband and I have lived in Fort Myers for over 30 years. We moved to Hampton Park about a year ago, and when we purchased our home, the wooded area next to it was touted as a preserve along the linear park of Gateway, and we just fell in love and thought, what a wonderful community amenity. Fast forward February, a month ago, and we got a letter from Tiffany Turner, and I'm not sure if you're aware of any of this at all, but I've been breathing, sleeping, eating it. She was representing FPL about the proposed transmission line that they're going to put in, the Orange River Puma, which could go directly through what we thought was a preserve. So she said a letter was sent to residents within 200 feet of the project, and we've been told that survey and staking will be occurring in July or later. And she assured us that once this is done, we could walk the property with an arborist and, see what we see. I've spoken to several people in Hampton Park and out on the trail, and no one has heard of this project. And when they do, needless to say, they're sadly upset. Those existing woods along the linear park provide so much animal and bird habitat, shade for walkers, summer wetlands, and it's really a small oasis of green space that you just can't find anywhere. So my point is the project is really going to dramatically affect many homes, unsuspecting future property owners, wildlife, and really the aesthetics of the linear park. With the upgraded Commons Park opening in August, that's even going to allow more people at the trailhead coming into this park. So I think it's even more important to handle this issue very carefully. I'm here to urge Gateway to do everything in its power to minimize the negative effects of these added transmission lines. It's important that Gateway and FPL mark all the trees that can be saved or pruned to keep as much plant life as possible in that wooded buffer along the trail and along the neighborhood property lines. I implore the Gateway Board, District Manager, Attorney, the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee to stay directly involved and proactive with this plan. We really need to use a scalpel rather than a bulldozer to complete this project.
How many lines are they adding, Teresa?
Big T lines, what we were told. What's there now is...
So they're going to match, this is the first time I've heard anything about this. Never heard anything about it. So they're going to take, their right of way is about 660 feet wide, which is inclusive of the landscape, or not the landscaped area, but the treed area.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go down the treed area, so they're going to be paralleling right close to the line with Hampton Park. Is that correct?
Yes.
And they're going to be putting in aerial wires just like the ones they've got at the same elevation, or lower or higher?
I believe the same.
So I've also, Teresa and I have been in contact. We did receive that letter as well. And I've kind of briefed very, very brief Tony on this, because we have an FPL consent agreement for our force main and irrigation main redundancy project that's supposed to go in that same area.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
But I've been in touch with the same woman that Teresa's been in touch with, Tiffany, and I think they're in preliminary design. And so a lot of the questions, the hard questions that we both have been asking, they don't even have answers on it yet. But I've too have asked for plans. They've asked for our plans. I said, well, I need your plans first, kind of tit for tat type thing. So
Well, we're not talking about towers, we're just talking about leading to the
matching what's out there. I don't know
So
what
additional or?
Yes.
Oh, additional
A
towers.
whole new set.
A
Oh,
whole new line.
okay.
Does it go the full length of the FPL all the way down
Yeah.
to the south end of the
Going to
county?
Miami.
Miami?
It's going to Miami.
Does it go
So-
to Cuba?
It might at the end of it. I don't know.
So who's, you mentioned a name, Suma? Something?
They're calling it the Orange River Puma with a number as well.
I don't understand what that means.
That's their project name.
Oh, okay.
Because
And I
Orange River
Googled it.
probably from the Orange River plant, which is,
The one thing that's got me a little concerned is that when you mentioned the trees, we tried to, if you recall, we were doing the trees up there on the road right away, and there was a limitation of 15 feet.
Yeah.
There's a heck of a lot of trees in that area you're talking about that exceed 15 feet. How are they going to get around that?
Well, that's where I'm afraid the bulldozer is going to come in unless we're proactive and hold their feet to the fire. I've been asking
have a
for how
question.
much.
Well, they held our feet to the fire and made
Stealthy.
us told us we couldn't go over
Flavia.
15
Flavia.
feet.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Bob.
Flavia, did you have something?
Hello, Flavia. You went back to Brazil.
She muted. Flavia.
Flavia, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So my question is, are we talking about, because you mentioned that you have spoken with FPL and they have agreed to do some plantings, that I just want to make sure I heard that right.
It's Tiffany Turner. She seemed a little sensitive to the issue and said we could walk with an arborist once the engineer lays down the aerial view of the lines. And we were told that nothing under or over 14 feet could be under the lines. And then I don't know how much of a buffer zone and how high that might be able to be.
Okay, so in short terms, she didn't promise anything. She just
No.
says that they're willing to walk with you. I mean, I'm just gonna be really frank, and I think Chelsea will go with that. Yeah, they'll work with us as much as we don't delay their project and as much as we don't cost them any money. So planting trees and doing it what we think is the right thing, it's probably going to be slim to none. But then we can see on the district side, like what can we do? Because I was just looking at your home, it's like all the way at the end. And I think there you just have like, there's like no clusters, it's just regular cherry trees and then some just regular native trees back there, right?
No, actually Hampton Park did plant collusias
But
along the way.
right, I'm speaking like by your house, because they have done on the opposite side, but by your property, I think it's just the native trees that were there, right? There was no, the hedge.
There
Okay.
is a hedge, but it's not as grown because the native trees kind of shade it. So
Okay.
on some streets like Ashbrook has a real tall hedge. So yeah, the starting of the hedge is still there.
So just so the board is aware, we have, I've talked to Tony and I know that there's some statutes out there that,
The Florida, Transmission Line Siting Act, the legislature adopted that act to allow easier siting and construction of infrastructure. And this may have been approved years ago, quite frankly. They're
So-
trying to do, I haven't begun the research, I'm doing some initial stuff now. This line, I think, goes from Orange River to Cuyahoga County, it's this line. It may ultimately go to Miami, but it's a 53-mile line right now. That's this project. It's,
Side of the linear park as opposed to the westerly side, which
I
is,
had asked that question in an email when I first heard of this. I brought her letter. If you want to see what she wrote, you're welcome to it.
assuming there's something engineering wise that impacted
they
it.
haven't provided any
And
engineering.
maybe that's
They
something
haven't
we could
provided
influence,
anything.
encourage them to do just that.
Yeah. Now,
And
we
Teresa-
could then have two other communities in here arguing because it's now on their side of the road. But to me, the larger portion of it that's impacted by it is the Hampton Park side. No doubt about that.
And the whole linear park. I mean, it becomes a
Oh,
linear
yeah.
field, really, if these woods go.
It goes completely across our whole community, completely across. Okay.
For 2 months, I was asking people, do you know why they're cutting into the woods? Why? No one knew. Well, when I talked to Tiffany a month ago, she said where the big lines are now, they cut through the woods, quarter acre, half acre, and they did soil sampling for the new lines to come in.
Probably for the
and
towers.
be plunked in there. Mhm.
This is the first I've
Okay,
ever even heard about it. Didn't even know about it.
Chelsea, just one more thing. So, because I was gonna ask that, because I was there a few days ago, last week, I think. And I did notice like a lot of the trees were cut down and they were mulched. I think there was 3 locations and I wasn't sure if it was the district or not, but they were really random locations. So I guess that's,
So
have you
they-
visited the site, Chelsea, or no?
I have, and that what they've done is they've come in and done some drilling to see for core samples. And so we did raise that concern to Tiffany, but to Tony's point, if this act gives them full rights to do everything, we've got to do a little bit more due diligence on
It's
our
not just the
side.
act, I mean, there's a process they go through with the state agencies.
Yeah.
For the permitting and approval.
So we're actively working on it. I know Teresa and I have been in contact a couple times, but I did encourage her to come to the board in the event that you guys wanted to take any additional action or any, if we want to.
So the path and the road that goes along the whole deal, it's going to be the east side of it or the Hampton Park side of the path.
Yep.
Wow.
But I have not seen any maps. I have not seen any plans. That is what we believe from what they've told us. And also that aligns with the core samples that they've been drilling.
And have they given us a date of when we might see something?
18 months.
I never heard that. the first contact we had, she acted like it could have been within weeks. The latest contact we had, she said late July or later.
To have plans?
That their engineers will be surveying, staking, and laying a aerial vision of it, I guess.
Well, to stake and lay it out, you got to have the plans to do it. So there, sounds like they might have plans even earlier.
She told us the first time we spoke to her, when we were devastated, that this has been in the works for 5 years. And, you know, why real estate agents don't know, why Gateway didn't know, how it was represented to us as a linear park and an amenity.
So we're, from a staff perspective, we're in communications with Tiffany and trying to figure out what is going on.
Tiffany is a FPL rep.
It's a contracted company on behalf of FPL.
Who, like Eric, is the point of contact on this project?
She is,
She is.
yes.
There was another name at the bottom of the letter, though.
Yeah, there are two names.
Can
Same-
we
same
add this
company.
to our agenda management list
Yes, ma'am.
so that it'll be on there and
Maybe they can come in and speak to us.
And I think if you
Well,
get
it'll-
something as an
it'll
owner,
stir our
let
memory
us know.
to ask about it.
We may
I have
not
it
know.
right here.
I'm sorry?
I have her letter right here, and then we've been trying to stay in touch. I was told every Wednesday, and we've asked for any updates, but unless we have reached out, and that's where we got this late July thing, we don't hear anything. See the letter, I believe it's in my bag.
No, I'm not a problem with that. I'm just trying to figure out is how far along are they? Because once they get into plans and spend that money to do the plans, they are going to have a tendency not to want to change the plans.
I have,
Or early enough.
And
That's what
that's,
usually
We could
happens.
influence.
and that's
So I-
exactly what I was thinking, Ed, because we all know when they're doing core samples in specific locations, they have an idea, so they do have plans. So that's why I was asking Teresa. You know, it seems to me that FPL wants to play nice, but they're gonna do what they need to do, and more than anything is infrastructure. So we're really at their mercy.
Yeah, but I don't want to give up on the point of there is a berm of trees and they don't have to come in with a bulldozer. If she has offered to walk with an arborist, some of those trees are beautiful. Some of them are scraggly, you know, but for instance, my neighbor across the street got the letter. He thought it was junk mail. He had no idea, and he's going to be gravely impacted because those T lines are out his backyard to the right, and they're coming in closer. And when we've met neighbors in their garage on Ashbrook, they also had no idea. They look at these giant lines now coming in, I don't know, 50, 100, I don't know what. But it is going to change dramatically.
Well, they must have a separation distance between towers that the lines, because right now they have two major sets of towers going down that easement. They obviously are probably trying to take the easiest route, which is going down the easterly side because it's clear. But what's their separation distance to say, move it out to provide more of a buffer between that and your homes? That would be a question I'd ask. In other words, if they're trying to hug it as close to the backside of that easement that they own, which is right on your property, that could be real problematic.
But doesn't Gateway own the land and you've granted the easement?
Well, let's back up. The easements were granted many, many years ago. And they were very comprehensive. And when you have fee ownership of the land like the district does, and if you have an easement, the easement holder becomes the dominant estate. And the fee holder of the district is the servient estate. So FPL has the right to do whatever ability to have under the easements, and it's pretty broad for their power lines and for their construction and infrastructure. What I will do is, I mean, our office is closed tomorrow, but I will be doing some research to see what records I can find. I can send them to Chelsea as far as what approvals, what submittals. And the question is whether or not the detailed plans may or may not be available because of concerns, as we all know,
Well, do they
for
have to even give us,
infrastructure, that they may not be publicly accessible from the standpoint of infrastructure.
do they have to give us any notice of this?
the letter was the notice.
Well,
Yeah, but when did we get the letter?
What I can do is I check again, the Florida Transmission Line Siting Act has processes, and I've never really dealt with it, or just inferentially, I mean, at times sort of on the side, sort of tangentially reviewed articles on that. I can also look at those articles, get some summaries so the board can have an idea of what that act requires, what that act allows, and try to find out what's happened in this case to date. I can do that over the weekend.
Okay, so in summary, I
We'll-
think it'll
we'll-
be good for us to include Angelo and maybe he can walk with Teresa and then just keep us updated. And then my final question, so we can move on from this, will be, has the HOA of Hampton Park, I'm looking at the map and it does look like there's this common area in between the FPL easement and your property. What is the position that your HOA over there is taking? Do they want to work with us? Are they planning on, if FPL doesn't do anything, what are they going to do for your residents there? Have any of the communication started with your board?
Right. Well, I called them first, actually, and they knew nothing about it. Now the board does know because I was waving the flag about not cutting those collusias short because that may be the only buffer the community has soon. So they know. I think the board is kind of overwhelmed. I'll take on any position, to help with information, but they know. I don't know, unless they're looking at it or unless they use the trail, it's kind of a sideline issue for them, but.
Is this new to them?
Yes, it was
I was
absolutely
going to say, it's
new.
got to be, because I just was talking to their
Yeah.
president not more than a week ago, and we communicate a lot on these things, and he never said a word about it, so I have a feeling he didn't know about it.
Tiffany said that he talked to her. The same time I called up the office and was told, no one knows
This has just been
anything, but I'll
recently.
tell the president. I sent them a copy of the letter, so yeah, it's been pretty recent. And he has so many things on his plate that,
So Flavia, I think Carol and Ed, Carol requested this to be put on agenda management, so I'd be happy to put it on.
Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll send, again, send Chelsea some information. For example, there's a nice little summary on the PSC, Public Service Commission website, or DEP, about the Transmission Line Siting Act. Doesn't require any local zoning hearings, and it just goes through the application process, a flow chart, so we
Okay.
can all see.
All right, thank you.
Maybe way down the road, but already, it sounds like, but still.
thank you. And if there's anything I can do, honestly,
I got your
it can
number.
be my
So
sideline.
where's this thing
Thank you.
terminate, Tony?
I don't know, I'm trying to find, DEP does not have the most user-friendly website at times, the Oculus website. It should be called opaque Oculus. That's their name for the
58
website.
miles.
I'm trying to find
Doesn't even
it.
get you from Miami to here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but that's what I'm gonna be doing over the weekend.
Gotta be longer than that, something strange. Okay,
Well, the Collier line segment is 53 miles, possibly, but that might be even further east. So again, that's just sort of preliminary.
well, let's just stay up on top of it, see what the heck's going on. Any other public comment or anybody online?
Nope,
Okay. Anything from advisory committees?
no.
I would just like to make a comment that one of the members of Parks and Recreation, Joe Schofield, has submitted his resignation from the committee. They are moving out of Pelican Preserve, and they're facing the next phase of their lives of assisted livings. So they're going into a facility type
Cypress
thing.
Cove.
Yes, Cypress Cove. And I just wanted to mention Joe because he's always been a unique character that took interest in the CDD. And during some of the really tough times between the town board and this board, he always defended the CDD. And so I just would like to publicly thank him for that.
Did this just all of a sudden come up? Because, we just appointed him for something here.
It was just a few days ago.
Yeah.
His wife is,
Medical issues.
Oh, okay.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
not as robust as she was.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, and he's a former member of PPAC. He
Right.
was part of
Knew
PPAC.
that. Knew that.
Just to echo those sentiments, Carol, I know Joe has been very active in the Parks and Rec Committee, attending events, helping out at Winterfest and things like that. So I have to commend him and his efforts in trying to participate and bring Pelican over to the Gateway side.
And he spearheaded the effort on behalf of PPAC when PPAC decided that we wanted to move landscaping away from Castle KW over here. Joe led that in 2022. Did a lot of research, did a lot of work.
Yep, Joe and I worked together quite a bit when I first started here.
Yep.
So.
He put in a lot of hours to help.
And a lot of meetings here, too.
Yes.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that.
Yes.
Anything else? Approval of minutes, is there a motion to approve the?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
opposed? Thank you. Consent agenda, we have one item, Girl Scout Lane, the infamous 212 pages of, what was all that?
Mr. Manoli is very verbose.
I'm
Well,
glad,
and you can blame it on the lawyer.
I hope
Yes.
I hope there
Absolutely.
was nothing in there that I really needed to
No,
know.
the issue is we have the ultimate agreement with the piggyback agreement. Oh, Chelsea's giving me that's the second set of dagger eyes I received from her today. One was over the phone and it fried my phone. And the second is in person, but I've got my Superman glasses on. No, the case law says that when you're going to piggyback, you need to show that the procurement process utilized by the other entity was comparable to the procurement process that this entity
So it's
has.
the county piggybacking that.
We piggybacked it last
necessitated
year
this.
on this, but then we have, this is an agreement acquisition under that piggyback. We also need to show that the unit prices are the same unit prices or comparable as under that piggyback agreement.
This little piggy versus that little piggy.
Yeah, and
I hope this-
they're basically, we don't get a pig and a poke.
I hope this saved enough to cover our paper costs.
Yeah, and
Oh,
one
Doug is
other
back.
aspect
So
of,
moved.
well, I just notified, I just sent Chelsea this morning some markups
Yep.
on the lease that, which is not unusual for out-of-state or national contracts. They don't comply with Florida statutes. We'll make those edits as appropriate.
Okay, so we have a motion from Carol to approve consent item, agenda item A.
Yep.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Just
Thank
let you
you.
know, Doug is back, so you need to vote for him too, because you
Oh,
only
okay, thank
made
you.
the
Doug's
motion for
back.
Flavia.
So
Tony,
moved.
I would suggest a motion to allow the full participation of Mr. Banks for the entire meeting, finding exceptional circumstances.
So moved.
Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Welcome back, Doug.
Thank you. Thanks.
The district engineer, do we have
No reports
no
this time.
reports? Damn, we're just moving right along.
All right.
Administrative agenda items, presentation of the FY25 audit.
Yes.
Has everybody read that?
Every page.
I read every page, and I can truly say I know about more of launching that rocket to the moon than I know what I
know
read in that
told you
report.
summary. I told them, I'm like, they will just want to know, did we pass and how much is the carry forward? So
I learned years ago on audits like this, you skip to the last page, and I skipped to the last, well, it wasn't the last page, it's next to last page, and I saw something in there that was disturbing. I asked her, she didn't know. What does it mean when it says the district was determined to be a high-risk auditee pursuant to the uniform guidance? That scared me.
Yeah.
What does that mean, we're a high risk?
That is a technical term that means that you guys didn't have a single audit in the past 2 years, or, so this was
Have we not had a what?
the single audits
Oh,
are,
the single audit. Okay, I
Yeah.
remember that
Yeah.
If
terminology.
you meet that requirement, then technically you're high risk, and all that means is our threshold, we have to test more, because the federal government says, okay, high risk, they haven't had an audit in 2 years, then you got to test 40%.
And this is
instead
because of the
20%.
bonds and the loans and all that?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. I, like I say, I read through the thing and I love it when I see no instances of and terms like that. And I didn't see anything else that was contrary, so.
Were you paying for his presentation? So let's let him do his presentation.
Well, just one question.
Yes,
Why does it take from September to April to get it?
that's a good question. We get the balance of the information.
oh, sorry, I'm just gonna, can you just
Yes,
announce,
sir.
give us your name for the record?
Yes, my name is David Kaplivsky. I'm an audit partner at Ground Associates. We're honored to be the independent auditors of the financial statements of Gateway Services. We put together the financials as well as audit it. So we get the information and put it into the financial statements. The timeline is typical that we would get information, the books would close around December or January, and then we get follow-up information during that time. The district also, I believe, has an OPEB plan. I'm sorry, let me just see. So there's different inputs that we cannot complete the total information, the total report until those inputs are received.
And who's that from? Stephen Bloom?
Yeah, so I can chime in a little bit there too. This is at least the 6 years I've been here. It takes us a while to get a lot of our invoices in for the fiscal year. So we like to make sure that we get as much of the expenses for the proper fiscal year posted to the proper fiscal year. So generally, Sonia and I are posting things for our fiscal year, which ends at the end of September, through the middle of November, because it sometimes takes that long for vendors to send us invoices for that
You're doing
stuff.
cleanup.
We're doing a lot of cleanup, and then by the time we look over everything and we're confident that the numbers that we pass to the auditors, that's generally, like he said, it was about the end of December, early January, but we were working on paperwork. As soon as you guys signed that agreement, we were already exchanging documents and doing things back and forth. So we were working on a lot of the background stuff before they got the final audit, like the things that they needed to look through that didn't have the final financial numbers in them. We were doing a lot of that in the background to help speed up the part once they got to that point.
When did we have that? What was that date?
So the final was issued March 18th, so we didn't make the previous meeting, but I believe we probably had all the information in middle of February.
Yeah, I was gonna say late
Yeah.
January,
Well,
early February, yeah.
Keep in mind,
That's just terrible.
well, keep in mind, this is an improvement to what we had in the past, and you guys set that, we
Yeah.
set that as part, so
Well,
we're.
we didn't like the old one, but this doesn't seem to be any better.
It's just, there's a lot, we had, there was probably 125 items at least on the list. And some of those things take us some time to find, and then it takes time for them to go through them. So honestly, I know 6 months seems like a really long time, but if you had seen all of the stuff that was going on in the background, it actually went pretty fast.
And you can't arbitrarily cut it off and say, we take October 31st, and anything after that, we'll throw it into the next year. Is that a decision?
We found
can
some
make?
stuff in January that we ended up having to adjust for, so there's,
If it means anything, our HOA, we just got our 2024 audit.
You could go bankrupt and you wouldn't know for 3 years.
It's ridiculous.
Okay.
So, also-
Everybody's.
All right,
snowing.
I was just
No,
curious
it's great,
because,
and I'm glad you're on that, and I can say that this is our first year, and the first year is always going to be a little bit later than the subsequent years.
okay,
So,
we'll hold you to that.
there's a lot more, there's a lot more
I'm here till
discovery.
28.
There was a lot more discovery this
Yes.
year, and they had to learn about us and like how we do things,
Yeah.
because this is the first year that they've done the
Good,
audit.
then they can
so.
share that with us too.
Consider.
Yeah, go ahead.
Considering the circumstances and what it says in here, I'm not complaining. I'm happy.
yeah, I am too. So everything, the audit process was very smooth. Everything that we asked for, we were provided. You have great folks working here and at Infomark as well. There was no issues with any of that, and we look forward to the next year being even smoother. The bottom line for the audit was that we were able to give the best opinion that we can, which is an unmodified opinion or a clean opinion on the financial statements. And we did not have any internal control matters that were significant deficiencies and no findings. So those are all good things. As far as carry forward balances into the next year, it's looking healthy in my opinion. So this is September 30th, where you ended at September 30th. It's so for the total general fund, 7.8 million. Now that's broken up into different categories. You have assigned 700,000 to emergency reserve, 2.3 million to capital projects, and 1.7 million into the fiscal year 26 budget. So that leaves 3.1 million unassigned. As far as the special revenue funds, you have Pelican Reserve at 4 million, Stony Brook at $114, Town Lakes carry forward was at 95,000, and then the Lake Bank Restoration carry forward had a deficit of 1 million, which the plan is to receive grant funds to fill that in future years.
That's just the timing of the reimbursements with SRF.
Yep. And then in the debt service funds, the Lake Bank Restoration actually has a positive 1 million. The Series 2023 carry forward balance for 2023-1, $370,000, Series 2023-2, $44,000, Capital Projects Fund, $7.8 million for the 2023-1. The 2023-2, you have $280,000. So overall, governmental funds ended with $20.6 million, and that's not even the water and sewer net position. So the water and sewer portion of the district ended with $31 million, but that also includes fixed assets and all the infrastructure that you have. So that's not necessarily cash. But so with that, you have all that information there. I'm happy to go into any details or questions you have.
I got one.
Yes, sir.
One that always bothers me on this stuff, whether it's a utility, city, town, county, whatever, is capital reserves.
Yes, sir.
Do you offer any opinion on either the amount of capital reserves that we maintain on our general fund or versus our enterprise fund? Do you have an opinion? Are we high, we low, we in the middle? Where do we, are we in good shape? Because I feel like we're somewhat low.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no, I can't, because I can tell you these numbers are accurate and we verified them. But to do like a reserve study, that's outside of our scope and outside of my expertise. But there are firms that do that, that the board was interested in, they could give you a whole report and say, yeah.
I didn't know if you would look at it and say, you're carrying a capital reserve for assets of $80 million of $150,000, like you got a problem.
Yeah.
You got a problem.
Yeah, I mean, what I can do is point you to the information when you look at what's in note 6, there's the capital assets for the governmental. So we're talking about general fund. So as far as the governmental assets, you have 25 million in.
What page are you looking at?
Sorry, thank you. Page 26 of the report.
Okay.
Right? And there, you see at the ending, you have capital assets being depreciated. So that's the kind of things that you would need to replace and repair, and they're depreciating them because, so there's 48 million historical cost, and then 31, and then down total accumulated depreciation. How much has that depreciated? 31 million. So there, what you're looking at is, it's a historical cost. It's not, it's a rule of, it's like it gives you one new perspective, but yeah, you have $48 million worth of assets, and they've been depreciated over time. The original estimate was that they're about 3/4 used, but I see, you're making the construction in progress of 1.5 million, and the total, which this year, the 1.9 million, we're adding to it, we're repairing things. So it's nothing that I can really opine and give you the answer that you're looking for. But I mean, the fact that you are even have capital projects, assigned capital projects, part of the fund balance, assigned capital projects of 2.2 million out of 7 million, that's unusual, right? I mean, that's responsible. That's a good start. I don't know if that's sufficient, or not, or maybe it's perfect.
Questions, anything?
And if we're talking operating
Yes.
reserves.
Yes.
I have always heard that the general rule of thumb is 3 to 4 months of operating expenses. That's what you should have in your reserves.
Yeah.
Do we have that?
Yeah, you have 3.1 in unassigned. And if you look at the budget this is from last year, I'm looking at the general fund.
Which page is this now?
This is on page 34. So last year's general fund budget was 12.9 million. So yeah, about a quarter of the total expenditures. On page 34, there's total expenditures of 12.9 million. You have a quarter of the expected expenditures for, in that budget year. But you didn't even, that, a lot of that was, you actually spent 8.5. So you have even more of the actual expenditures. So it is, yeah, I think that would meet that rule of thumb for sure.
So generally, we're in good shape.
Yes.
Okay.
Bob?
Nope.
Doug or Flavia?
Nothing for me.
Thank you. Doug?
Yeah, nothing for me. I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Stephen and Sonia are both online too, just.
Steve Bloom's online?
Yep, and Sonia, who's our accountant. Sonia Rowley, she's our accountant.
Okay.
She does the day-to-day stuff. They were both
They want to
online.
offer anything?
Anything you guys want to chime in?
Yes, this is Stephen Bloom. Good afternoon. Just to piggyback on that last sentiment, operating reserves, I think, are in good shape across the board. As you probably can guess, the utility fund would be the place where, as we move forward, we look at building up additional reserves. That's something we've talked about in the past. I know that the board has talked about that quite a bit in reviewing rates for the ratepayers. That is going to be an area that we're going to want to build up as we move forward.
Is that the conversation where we talk about funding it 100%, 20%?
Yes, yeah. And it's just what the market will bear, but on the other hand, you got to look at the reality. We got a utility that's 35, 36 years old with assets that are that age with service lives of 40 to 50 years. It ain't going to last forever. And you're going to start having major expenses, especially on utilities like pump stations. Knock on wood.
Please,
Thank you. I'm sorry?
Their pool. It's like that condo over in Fort Lauderdale or Miami that didn't fix their pool.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other
Yeah,
questions?
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was good to meet you too.
See you next year.
It was nice
You guys
reading
talking
it.
about,
Nothing negative.
6 months, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, landscape architectural services, I didn't see anything other than a ranking. I didn't see any facts, figures, numbers, or anything. Did I miss it?
Compensation.
11B.
I just saw, we had three firms.
Yep, so
Who's LJA?
I think it's a company out of Naples. And so we put out an RFQ.
This is to replace RWA.
Yes, we
Okay.
put out an RFQ. We had three people bid. Those are the three that are here. We had a selection advisory committee convene and rank these firms, and you see the ranking. And so the ranking from the selection committee is to enter to a contract with LJA and as the most qualified firm for professional services and negotiate rates.
All three were pretty close.
Is that where the guy went that left
No.
RWA?
No,
Okay.
It's a new firm.
I go back to the question. When we talk to them, are they understanding that they're going to be picking up and certifying plans that are 90% complete that they did not
it's a different
author?
issue. Different issue. This is just to have a pool of landscape architectural people on to call on if we need.
Available.
Okay, so they're not doing the
No.
completion of that. Okay, I was going to say,
No.
I
got
can't believe
that.
they're doing it. And I've never heard of any one of these three companies.
Kimley Horn is the one that came in and assisted RWA with the
Transition, huh?
the transition, the presentation, and then Weston and Sampson is another local firm, but the selection committee recommended to go with LJA Engineering.
Like with the CCNA for engineers,
I'm sorry.
this is a CCNA solicited projects like with engineers, so compensation is not a factor for determination of the ranking.
Okay, I was
They're all
just looking
qualified
like,
by the
just
state.
seeing, what's the word I want, brochures or something, because I didn't know these people from Adam. Okay, any questions? Carol, Bob?
But the spread
No, I moved to-
253 to 258 is pretty tight, really.
Yeah,
There's not much.
pretty equal.
On a
pretty
300
equal.
foot scale. I mean, maybe
mean,
1%.
One of the things that you could choose to do, and Tony, give me daggers back if you want me to, but, approve the ranking of all three and go negotiate with all three.
No, the CCNA says you negotiate with the highest rank.
With the highest
Highest
rank.
qualified
Or
first.
could you
Yeah,
qualify
highest
all,
qualified.
you qualify all three of them though?
Did you check with the references
Highest
of,
qualified.
Highest qualified,
did you
okay.
check any references of this company? LJ?
They all had references with them.
That was a requirement of the submittal as part of the
I think there was
RFQ package.
5. It was 3 or 5 references in each package. I was on the selection committee, so.
Yeah, you have to determine an order of preference, no fewer than 3 firms deemed to be the most highly qualified. And then you negotiate with you make a determination as to who the highest qualified firm is.
Skip if you don't
Authorize
get it.
negotiation. If you can't reach a deal, you go to the next thing.
So that's what we're looking for.
Okay, so the recommendation of staff is to select LJA.
Yes.
Rank them as the
From the,
highest
from
qualified.
from the selection committee.
Yes.
I move to accept staff's recommendation as LJA Engineering, Inc. as the highest ranked of the companies solicited and move forward with negotiations.
I'll second.
Suggest that the motion be phrased to name LJ as the highest qualified provider and then rank them in order of, no, that's I just have to rank them.
Okay, so what should I say, Tony?
It's a ranking as to the qualified.
We
So you
accept
have
the
to-
ranking?
The ranking, yes, as to who's the highest qualified. The most qualified firm is, who's the first one?
LJA.
LJA.
So we accept the
Kimley
ranking
Horn is the
as
second most
presented.
qualified, and then the other one is the third most qualified.
Okay,
And
I move to
authorize staff
accept the
negotiate.
rankings as presented and move forward with negotiations with LJA
I'll second.
Engineering, Inc.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Bob did.
Capital budget discussion.
I'll scan this to Georgia Franco.
We beat it to death at the 2 o'clock, so
Okay.
I think we
Well,
pretty well got our,
we put it on here just in case you wanted to talk.
yeah.
Just want to make decisions.
Yes.
Okay,
I have a couple things under district,
okay.
district manager items. I mentioned earlier the workshop, but we did receive a notice of award for a little over $200,000, a grant for utilities for generators. That is the HMGP grant, one of the many HMGP grants that we were pursuing, Tetra Tech helping us in that process.
Is this for lift stations?
This is, yes, this would be for lift stations. There's a 25% grant match. So that is, we'll have, once the agreement or contract comes through, we'll bring that in front of you, but we did receive that notice of award. So it's good to see that decisions are being made at the state and federal levels to push through some of this funding. So that was one kudos.
75% grant, 25% local share.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Chelsea, do you know off the top of your head what our cumulative number is to date of grants that we have been awarded?
For the year or for the, like?
In total since you've come on board?
I can get that for you at the next meeting. Top ahead, we're looking at least 1.3 million.
And how many grants is that in total?
That's just 2.
Okay.
But we have the other half of those that are forthcoming, like the pond one, that's another
Big one.
9 mil.
Yeah.
So, and we've got 5 or 6 of them sitting in the queue with HMGP. We've got the Pelican Ponds ones that we pursued. So just kind of sitting and waiting until those get.
Are they all generally 75% or are they?
All HMGP grants are 75-25, but the plan, like I mentioned in the past, is on the 25% match, the county has another pot of money that we can tap into to see if we can get the 25% from them. So making it 100% free.
Do they allow that?
Yes.
Okay.
They did set aside Hurricane Ian dollars, so.
Yeah, I just wanted to call that out because ever since I started on the board a long time ago, that's always been a concern, or at least an interest from all the board members to leverage grants wherever we possibly can. And it seems like, over the past couple of years, we've just done a really good job of, getting those across the line, working with Tetra Tech and other partners to get those fit out. Because it's, it can be arduous to do the paperwork and all the hoops we got to jump through. So just good job to you and staff
Yeah,
for
'cause
seeing
it's not
those
an
realized.
automatic.
Appreciate that.
It's not automatic.
Hopefully we'll have some more good news in the coming months of additional grants being awarded. So on the opposite side of that, the county hit us with an 8% increase on our utility rates effective July. So
Was coming.
we knew that was coming,
I
but
thought
we
it was coming
did.
on water utilities too?
It's for Lee County Utilities, 8% across the board. So we expect that. They approved that 3 years ago. This is every
We already
July.
budgeted
We've
that on in.
budgeted, but
Oh, okay, that was like 8% 5 years in a
Yeah.
row.
Problem is, we budgeted it in, but I don't know that we have done a real good job of marketing, because I'm hearing every time I go anywhere, when are your rates gonna quit going up and up and up? Now, our deal is that when the county quits.
anyway, just letting you know, we got the notice. We've done everything on our side we've got to do, but they did send that the other day.
That's effective July 1?
Yes.
Okay.
We got some rain coming down, much
And a nice-
needed.
and a nice angle too.
We had the Rick's retirement. Stephanie did give notice last Friday, a 3-week notice. So she has tendered her resignation. So we are
17th is her last
the
day.
17th of April. So we are.
Was it working with the Ponds Committee that did it?
I don't know if it was that or the aeration workshop with you. No. But we wish her the best.
Yeah.
So
Do we know where she's going?
I don't, but we did post that position. Laura posted it last Friday, so we have a couple applicants and we're working through that. So just letting you know, on top of everything else right now, staff is stretched thin, but we are trying.
Who's gonna fill in till we get somebody on
We're
that?
working through that. So
And did Stephanie come through FGCU?
no,
No, okay.
Do what now?
he asked if Stephanie came from FGCU. I said no, she came from Maine. We had we had posted online.
Okay.
And then the only other thing that I kind of had, which was kind of an lingering thing from the last board meeting, was we approved the parking. I know I mentioned that the intent was to start the posting and the enforcement and the signage in the fall. I just want to make sure we're clear on that with that direction. Like we'll go through the summer. We'll get our ducks in a row. We'll start to issue the parking permits for our residents. But then once we open the soccer complex up after the summer shutdown is when we're really going to start proceeding with this. I just
Okay.
wanted to be clear.
So it's going to be incremental.
Yes. So, okay. That is all I had.
Tony?
Just trying to monitor what the legislature has passed to see if the governor signs. There's some interesting bills out there. I mentioned to you about the sovereign immunity
I
one.
hate the word interesting.
Yeah, well, there's one that both houses passed that provides for the recall of elected supervisors of CDDs,
Oh, cool.
but it's not yet been signed by the governor and cabinet. There's one that changed the limits for sovereign immunity recoveries and awards, but that's not yet been signed by the governor and cabinet. So we're just monitoring those to see what happens. What's interesting is the legislation that passed for the recall of CDD supervisors only applies to elected CDD supervisors, which is interesting.
What else is there?
Appointed to fill a vacancy.
In the instance of where somebody resigned and the board appointed somebody.
They couldn't be recalled. I mean, it's interesting. Why I don't know what, Carol knows better why legislatures do what they do, and even then she doesn't know all the time. Right? Fair statement?
Yes.
So that's all. I've been working with Chelsea on.
I'm sure there is a case out there right now that this legislation was hoping to solve an issue.
Some relatives oxcock.
It's the same thing with the HOAs, where the House tried to put out that deal where you could abandon with 20%, abandon an HOA. I mean, thank God somebody in the Senate had the brains to say, yeah, we can't do
There's
this.
another bill that passed that doesn't apply to the district, but that does give them a raise. Yeah, I know. One of these years they might do that. But they completely rewrote the Chapter 617, the Florida Not-for-Profit Corporation Act. So that's been passed but not yet signed. So that ought to be interesting. It's only 327 pages long. So Lord knows what the legislature did in that sausage.
And Tony, you sent us an email about the draft board policies and
Yes, that's the
procedures
same one you read,
manual.
Carol?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Are you intending to bring that at a subsequent meeting? Because
What
I
I'm
did not
thinking is-
see it on the agenda management calendar.
Yeah, what I'm thinking, I apologize, what I'm thinking is in Chelsea, may put in the next board workshop, if that's possible, like.
Oh,
No.
great.
We have budget.
Budget.
Budget, or after that, we have,
We have budget between now and August.
okay.
Remind everybody, we have till April 20, what'd you say, Laura? 22nd? Get to Tony, reviews back on
Evaluations.
the.
Carol's
manager
already turned, I
evaluation.
have Carol, she
Yes.
turned it in today.
Okay.
But so at some point in time, the board wants to bring that up. I mean, it's not a time critical issue, but I think it's. and
No,
we-
but I don't want to lose sight of it. is
We're not losing
what-
sight of it, believe me, because I think.
So
we-
maybe if you could put it on the calendar for agenda management.
That sounds good. And what I'm thinking also, although it does apply to the committees, but I think the board should have the first, should determine whether or not this is a format you want, and then give it to the committees for their review and see how it impacts them. So I guess whenever we have a quiet moment in a meeting, maybe we can have a discussion.
We'll,
Anything else, Tony?
we'll add that to agenda management.
Okay.
We'll pick a date.
No, nothing further.
Future board business, agenda management. Golly.
Let's
Nice segue.
Yeah, what a segue.
I don't disagree with you.
So we're adding a couple of items to that, I guess, then.
Yep, we'll put it down below and we'll pick a date that makes sense, where we're not bogged down with a lot of other.
Anybody have any questions about the table there?
Just so you know, I will not be here for the President's Council meeting on the 23rd. We have a grandchild graduating from college, so.
Congrats.
And I will be on a cruise.
Congratulations.
You're going to be all gone too?
Cruise.
Oh, for the, this is not a
President's
board
Council.
meeting, this is
No,
a
it's not a
President's
board meeting.
Council.
Yes, on the 23rd.
Whoever the wife tells me.
Supervisor comments? Carol?
Show up at the-
None.
Bob, supervisor comments? Doug?
No, I'm good.
Flavia?
No, I'm good.
Okey-doke, I have none. I guess we're adjourned.
Just
I
in
move
time
to
to
adjourn.
get soaked.
Hey,
Time to make a dash for it.
The FPL project is really going well.
That
They've done a great job.